Good evening, folks, and welcome to Taylor Outdoor, home of the Backyard Summer Classic. We're here for the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft. My name is Will Wyman, joined by the incomparable Kieran Swenson. Kieran, what are you looking forward to tonight?
Hey, we got a great group of draftees out here, great group of drafters, arguably the strongest the Classic has ever seen. So I'm looking for some movers and shakers. I'm looking for people to make the picks that are going to solidify this year's champions, separate.
I'm equally as excited as you are, and we're going to start things off with the Mercenaries. They're going to be on the clock with the first pick. So who do you think Bradley takes here?
It's a great question. There are a lot of great options. We've had some players drop out of the drafting pool and into the pool. You got Jake Taylor. Obviously, he's a really strong pick.
Of course.
Great interior finisher. What are your thoughts, Juan?
I think you can't really go wrong here. I think you got a guy in Jake Taylor that is really, he's strong in a lot of ways. He can move the rock. He's a great facilitating big man, can play a lot of defense. And then you got a guy like Mikey FINERTY. I'd say the most talented player in this class. Can't go wrong with him either. I think the ball's really in Bradley's court. It's really about what kind of team he wants to build. And we just have word from the commissioner that the pick is in. So we are going to hear from him on who Bradley Kishaba decided to go with here. We got some quick technical difficulties. We'll be coming in here, but Bradley, he's the only player in Classic history to ever notch a triple-double. He's looking for someone that can help him a little bit, probably more on the offensive end. He's a strong defender, a strong facilitator. Maybe wants someone that can bring a little bit more scoring acumen to this Mercenaries roster.
Yeah. And he's done it before with a group of small players. Mercenaries, we've seen that in the past, but false.
All right. With the first pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Mercenaries select Jake Taylor.
Yeah!
All right, Jake, it's an absolute. Oh, you're gonna sit down on the stoop here for me. Move this out of the way for you. So, Jake, how do you feel? You're Mr. Number One, first overall pick. Were you expecting to go at this juncture?
I think it's going to be a great season. Of course, you gotta hope that you go number one. It's a tough pick, but I'm glad that Bradley made that selection, and it'll be fun to see what we can do this season.
Absolutely. And what do you think you can really bring to this roster? You've been a captain before. Can you bring that leadership role to this team with Bradley?
I think you got to trust Bradley's leadership skills and the experience that he has, but it'll add another element to the team. Hopefully we can move the ball well and make good on this next pick coming next round.
Absolutely. Well, absolute pleasure. Congratulations to you, and I'm looking forward to a great season for you.
Thank you.
Kieran, what's your take on this pick?
I think it's a really strong pick. We've seen Jake draft as high as number 3 or number 4. I think it's a really strong pick. Gives Bradley some size, maybe a great pick and roll combo, somebody that can go to on the low block, play to his passing strengths. So I think it's a really strong pick to open up the draft.
I absolutely love it. And now we have the Downpour on the clock here coming up. So who do you think the Downpour might pick? I mean, it would usually be you.
I would love it for it to be me. I would.
Equally would I.
But there's a lot of great talent out there. Yeah.
Yeah?
You have any thoughts? Who are you going to pick?
I mean, there's a lot of good options out there. I'm not going to, step on any toes here. I'm not going to reveal it before, the commissioner gets to say it.
Of course. My fault for making it.
We can take. Yeah, I'll text you. We'll take a look at some comments here. We got Ian Smith. Thanks for tuning in, Ian. Ian Smith is in this draft class. He's not here tonight, but he could go in this late first round, maybe early second. And then we got Nick Robinson, Sam Dietrich.
Oh, they are.
We got the Oregon crew in here. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Ian Smith is shocked Hank wasn't taken first overall. I'm equally as shocked.
Yeah, could be an early mistake by Bradley Kishaba.
So, and it looks like the pick is in for the Downpour. I really wonder who they went with.
You know, me too. Yeah, again, this early on, a lot of really good options. As discussed, Mikey Finnerty, really strong option, great scoring, provides some much-needed floor spacing on this small Taylor outdoor court, as well as some ball handling that could potentially help Will Wyman. We also got some players like Gabe Murray. You know, would be a really strong pick as well, has shown that he can absolutely blow up in any given game. Now the pick is in.
Absolutely. Here we have Commissioner Alt.
Jake. With the second pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic, Will Wyman's Downpour select Mikey Finnerty.
I gotta say, I love the selection. I think it's a very sage decision from the Downpour captain, Mikey Finnerty, one of the highest scorers in the last Summer Classic in the draft pool. Like I mentioned before, he's the most talented player in this class, in my opinion. He brings a lot on the offensive end. He plays to a lot of the Downpour captain's weaknesses. He's a great jump shooter off the catch, off the dribble, and I think he's going to provide a lot on the defensive end as well. You know, he averaged a steal and a block last Classic.
Yeah. You know, I agree. I think it's a really fantastic pick. I think I would have done the same in Will Wyman's shoes. Of course, some really, really big shoes to fill. Without yours truly in the draft class.
Exactly.
So we'll see if Mikey Finnerty can come in and continue that Downpour legacy. I hope he does.
And now coming up here, we have the light show on the clock. Commissioner Cool Sam Alt, captain of that squad. So I imagine the turnover from the text coming to the commissioner is not going to be too long. Hopefully I can get some word on who it is.
No thoughts, Juan?
I mean,
Right off the top?
I think you got a guy. I think it's between two players for me. It's between Tyler Mundy and probably a Billy Easton here. You know, what do you really want? Billy Easton is a phenomenal finisher inside. He's a great mid-range shooter. He's got great length, can provide some shot blocking. And then you got Tyler Mundy, who's really one of the most, if not the most, lockdown defender in this draft class. You know, he's got the scoring acumen. He had some offensive struggles. I think that was apparent last Classic, but he always brings on the defensive end, and if he can really fine-tune that offensive game, bump that 10 points per game up to maybe 14, I think it'll be very valuable for the light show. And now we had the pick in from Sam Alt.
With the third pick in the 2022 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, my light show are going to select Tyler Mundy from Kansas. Welcome to the squad.
Wonderful pick, sir.
Will?
Tyler, go ahead and take a seat here. Wow, so going in the top three, how do you feel about that? You know, I think you've worked really hard here over the years. You've brought a lot to this tournament. How do you feel about going to the light show?
I'm going to be completely honest, I did not see this coming. But now that I have seen it, we're going to do very well together. Sam's going to be able to take his shots. We're going to be able to play solid D together. We're going to move the ball. This is going to be an interesting dynamic that no one saw coming. And I don't think the rest of the crew likes that. So I'm very, very intrigued by what we're going to do together, Sam. Let's get it done.
And a lot of people were asking the questions about your brother, Derek Mundy. I would say probably the more offensively geared out of the two. You're more the defensive player. You went ahead of him. Is there going to be some conversations at home about this?
Let's just say this. Just because I miss shots does not mean I am not offensively geared. I'll tune it in. Give me some time. We're going to play ball. Derek's been playing wonderful, by the way. You know, he's a real sleeper. So Absolutely. All you captains out there, make sure you know who you're picking.
All right, Tyler. Absolute pleasure. Good luck this year.
Thank you very much.
And now coming in, we got the slashers on the clock. Captain Charlie Easton is not in the building, but who do you think they go with?
Ooh. Again, the obvious pick, his brother here.
All right.
I think that's the obvious pick. We know they have some great acumen together.
Yep.
Had a really great Classic team this Winter Classic, playing on the same team. Of course, fell to my own team. after a Gabe Murray explosion. So we could see him taking that. Could also maybe take that same player, Gabe Murray, who took him down in the Winter Classic, if he wants to take a more three-point shooter type player. Yeah, what do you think, Juan?
I think, yeah, Billy's the right choice here. You know, you got a pretty clear-cut top four here, but the pick is in, and we're going to see if it is, in fact, the brother that he goes for. Maybe he goes for a Gabe Murray, you know, some more offense, some more shooting. Here's Commissioner Cool with the pick.
With the 4th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, Charlie Easton Slashers select Derek Mundy from St. Mary's College. That's, yeah.
Get up here, Derek.
Huh? Said you? Yeah, it's Derek. Oh, really? Oh. Miscommunication. All right, it's Billy Easton. I misread that.
I said top of the list.
Oh, that was like the header. So I was like,
my bad.
I was like, oh, it's, yeah. So
Oh,
like, it couldn't have been J.
That's my bad.
Yeah. All right.
Wow, what's going through your head right now? I mean, I thought you were the clear selection, and then I hear a different name.
I mean, it was just a little miscommunication, but, you know, at the end of the day, I'm just shocked he selected me because after the beef from last year, but, you know, we're both competitive, so I'm glad he got me this round.
And then what do you think you can bring some sort of twin telepathy to this group?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't so good there. Like, it was a little shaky. That's what the miscommunication was, but we'll dial that telepathy in before the season starts.
Absolutely. Well, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm glad you're getting to end up with your brother, and good luck this summer.
Thank you, sir.
That really blew my mind. I had the graphic ready saying Billy Easton, and then I hear Derek Mundy, and I panicked a little bit.
Okay, well, good recovery.
But coming up now, we got the FOWL, Bridger Costello. He's been thinking a lot about this pick. I think it might be a guy like a Gabe Murray, maybe. I could see that happening. I could see a lot of different options here. Bridger, you know, he's reigning MVP. He's got a lot of good skills he can bring to the party. But who's he gonna bring with him here? We got the commissioner ready for action.
With the 5th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, Bridger Costello and the FOWL select Gabe Murray from Long Beach State. You want to talk about him? Yeah.
We got Bridger Costello in here, captain of the FOWL. What went through your head when you selected Gabe Murray just now?
You know, my mentality this year is I really wanted a more offensive-centric team, someone, my right-hand man who could really fill it up, and I think Gabe's one of the best offensive players in the Classic. I've also played against this guy more than anyone else throughout the history of the Backyard Classic, and I kind of decided I'm sick of playing against him, and I wanted him on my team this time. I think he can facilitate really well. He's got the heart of a lion. I think we could really make something happen, so I'm excited to have him on my team for sure.
I mean, that's a great pick, and good luck to you this summer.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Now the Rooks are coming up on the clock. We have Captain Ryan Tilmatine. You know, he's made some questionable draft choices here in past years. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. He had probably the team with the worst chemistry in Classic history last summer. And I'm just hoping that he can rectify those errors and bring a team with more of a family atmosphere. I don't want to see guys getting yelled at. I don't want to see him throwing things, you know. But in all seriousness, Ryan Tilmatine is one of the most talented players in this Classic. If he makes the right selection here, I think he could be in contention for taking this title down.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, clearly that Winter Classic team was built to succeed. Very dominant team, one of the most dominant teams we've seen in Classic history.
Absolutely.
Just ran straight through to that title. So maybe he's learned a little bit from what a good team that plays to his strengths looks like from that roster.
Definitely. So do we have the pick in here for Sam Malt? Ryan. Let's see what Ryan brought to the table here.
With the 6th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Rooks select Derek Mundy from St. Mary's College.
Wow. Derek, your range was all over the place. I wasn't sure you were going to go in the first round, the second round, but here you are going top 6 to a very talented captain. How are you feeling about this selection?
I honestly, I didn't really see it coming, but I'm happy to be playing with Ryan. He's super talented, probably one of the best scorers in the Classic. I honestly hate playing against him so much, so I'm honestly glad I'm on his team so I don't have to do that this year. Looking forward to the next couple picks and building a great squad.
Absolutely. And how do you think you're going to be able to help out Ryan's squad? Build some chemistry, maybe shoot off ball a little bit for him. What are you going to bring to the squad?
Yeah, I know you definitely mentioned earlier that he had troubles with chemistry last year. Hoping to bring good vibes and, space out the floor, shoot some threes, let him shoot some threes, get down in the paint for him, do whatever just to help him out and win a chip, hopefully.
Absolutely. Well, absolute pleasure. It's a real shame you're not on the downpour, but I'm glad that you get that first round bag now.
I know. I'll see you eventually.
Oh, yes, sir. Derek Mundy mentioning the vibes. He's, for me, in my opinion, all Classic first team in vibes. I think he brings the best vibes out of almost anybody. Absolutely. He's a real talent. Now we got Cody Taylor picking. He is going to be a scary captain.
Yeah. He's my early. Not looking at any picks, looking at anything, my early favorite to win this whole thing. We'll have to see what his draft brings, but really talented player. Definitely filling some big shoes in his brother, but I think he can bring a lot of the same skill as well as maybe some even better shooting and passing than his brother brings to the table.
Absolutely. Yeah, we saw Kai Taylor, he's Mr. Classic, and now his team's being taken over by Cody, who is a great basketball player in his own right. Some would argue he's even better than Kai. So I think people are a little bit worried about that, but we're going to see if he made the right choice here in this draft. So here's Commissioner Alt with the pick.
With the 7th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, rookie captain Cody Taylor and the Classics select ERICK LENGTAT.
Wow. Eric, good to see you this early in the draft. I heard some heckles from the crowd, but there's no doubting your talent. What do you think you can bring to Cody Taylor's squad?
I think together we can bring a championship. We're both rookies. We're ready to bring a championship. That's all we're looking at.
And then what do you have to say to, there's members in the media. Reporter Hank SCHAAF has been very critical of you. What do you have to say to a guy like that?
I'll leave it all on the court. There's nothing to say. I'll see you August 9th, Hank.
There you go. Well, good luck. That is it's a pick that I don't know if I was ready for, but it's not like it was unexpected. These guys, they played together growing up in that Davis High basketball system. 2 guys that are very talented, 2 rookies, something to prove for sure. And as we close up this first round, I don't think anybody was expecting the way this was going to go, but coming up here now, we have the final pick of the first round. It's going to be Aiden Doms and the Sharks selecting here with the 8th pick and the final pick in this first round. And the pick is coming in here. Sam Alt's got it.
With the 8th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, rookie captain Aiden Doms and the Sharks select Joe Morrison from UC Davis.
I am petrified, folks. Absolutely petrified. Joe Morrison is a power lifter. Aiden Doms, captain of the Sharks, rookie captain. We got to scoot you in a little bit here. I was not expecting Joe Morrison to go here. What went through your mind when you picked this?
I've seen him playing at the Arc. I played with him a couple times here. There's no other strength and size like that in the draft class, and to get him late in the first round, I think it's a steal.
Absolutely. And how do you think you guys are both obviously two physical specimens? How are you going to hope to bring some physicality in this smaller court setting?
I don't know. There's going to be some tough matchups, some quick teams like Bridger, Gabe Murray. That's a quick shooting team, but I think we're going to be a bad matchup for a lot of teams.
No kidding. All right, well, it's a great pick, and good luck with the rest of the draft.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's going to conclude this first round. We're going to keep the good times rolling, or are we going to?
If you want to do like a pause and update, like the
We're going to take a quick break here for a little 2-minute break here just to get into this second round, but that is quite the exciting first round of action here. Thank you guys for tuning in for this. All right, folks, well, we just saw a crazy first round of action here. Coming into the second round, there's going to be a lot of good players still available left on the board that I think a lot of these captains weren't expecting to still be available. Bradley Gishaba, I don't know where his head is at. I don't even know where my own head is at. I'm picking second in this round, but all I know is there sure is a lot of talent available, and we're going to have a good think about this one. Obviously, this Classic is deep as they come, our deepest class ever. The vibes are right out here. These teams are already shaping up into some very, very talented squads. I'm looking at Aiden and Joe Morrison on the Sharks. That is just a menacing duo. I think most people feared a guy like Charlie Karagosian. I think Charlie Karagosian, a little taller, a little stronger, a little more controlled. That's Joe Morrison in many ways. And that is just kind of scary to think about. Come up against with Aiden Doms, who is the most athletic player in Classic history. Taking a look at some of their picks here, I mean, I don't think anyone really went wrong. Bradley picking Jake, I think that was a great pick. Bridger with Gabe is awesome. Sam and Tyler Money, that's going to be a treacherous defensive squad, especially out on that perimeter. Both guys can also play strong inside. My own downpour, Mikey FINERTY, I mean, you really can't get wrong with that pick. So going to the second round, it's really going to be about where can that fit come in, where can these teams help each other out, or probably where can these players help these teams out, I should say, and who is going to be the guy, who's going to be the league winner coming out of this round, because there sure is talent coming in a lot of ways. And taking a look at these rosters here, like I just mentioned, I mean, Cody and Eric is just talent coming out of the ears. That is just crazy. Just will Lyman respond? What do you want from me, Ryan? Why Lyman bomb incoming? I'm trying to stay straight here. Bradley and Jake, great team. Will and Mike, it's a good squad. Sam and Tyler, like I mentioned, great defensively. Charlie and Billy Easton, the twins coming together. That is going to be a very strong shooting team. Also great length to bother on the defensive side of the ball. Bridger and Gabe will probably be the best jump shooting team in Classic history. Ryan and Derek is, of course, offensive juggernaut. Derek can do a lot of good stuff as well. And then I mentioned already the Classics and the Sharks. Checking back in on who's available. We still got talented names here. Charlie Karagosian, Dylan Starsnick, Gabe Franco, the rookie. You got Ian Smith is still there. Spencer Alt, Max Gasser. So these names are guys that would normally be first-round locks. Yeah. So, I mean, this has been a wild experience, but we're going to get back down to it here. And, man, if you're in the chat, leave a comment what you think of this draft so far, because it's certainly been blowing my mind. And I know for a lot of you it's been doing the exact same thing. Bradley Gishaba here, starting out the second round though. He's got a lot to think about. There's a lot of talent here. I sure have a lot to think about as well. I'm waiting for my my GM, Kieran Swenson, to come back over here and I can maybe give him a little whisper about what we're thinking. Of course, I have a Bradley picks, but going into this second round, anything can happen. These rosters can still shape up in a lot of different ways. Megan Eisman commenting Sharks snag. Yeah, that's a really good pick by the Sharks, I can't lie. Draft class of generational talent. Sorrentino's still there, but here we have the pick in for Bradley Gishaba's Mercenaries. Here's Commissioner Alt with the pick.
With the 9th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, Bradley Gishaba and the Mercenaries select Max Gasser from UC Santa Cruz.
That is a really good roster that Bradley Gishaba is constructing over there. Out in San Diego, he is building it big. It's a great team with Jake Taylor and Max Gassera. We got Jake here. Jake, what do you think about your teammate coming in as Max Gassera?
I had a great chat with Bradley over the phone. Thankful for him and his pick in the first round. We just wanted a guy who really knows the game of basketball, someone who can really zip the ball around but still score and play defense. I think you're looking at one of the most all-around teams in the Classic. I think we'll each give you, 10 to 15 points, 10 to 15 rebounds, and 4 or 5 assists. It should be a fun, exciting season, and it'll be nice to see who we close out our team with here. But Mercenaries are looking like a deathly squad, in my opinion.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming in here. And now the Downpour are coming up here, and I think that the captain is still a little bit unsure, as I am a little bit unsure. Yeah, I don't.
Take a quick commercial break.
We have to take a quick commercial break. Coming up here, it is going to be the Downpour pick. And, there's a lot of good options here. A lot of good guards, a lot of good wings, a lot of good bigs as well. So coming in here, it's going to be the 10th pick in the draft in this second round. A lot of options here. We can really hash this out live on camera.
Yeah.
I think
Charlie K is a body.
Charlie K is a great body down there. Charlie Karagosian, he's not available right now, but he could really bring a lot to that team, rebounding and of course physicality-wise.
Ian Smith is of course just a dog.
Ian Smith
around.
is a great
he can ball handle, not the best shooter.
He can rebound. He can play defense and rebound, and he can shoot it a little bit as well.
Yeah. Are you looking for a wing defender? Or are you looking for a paint defender?
That's really a big question. I don't know.
We got a lot of big teams. You gotta look out for the Sharks. They got a lot of size. You take down a team like that, you might need a body.
That's certainly true. I think for me, if I'm the captain here, it's going to be between Ian Smith and Charlie Karagosian.
You also got to think about who's been playing more recently.
Yep.
Who's been in the gym. I know I see Charlie Karagosian at the Arc. I have unfortunately never once seen Ian Smith at the Arc. So something to think about. Who has been on their game recently? Who's been working?
Yeah.
In the lab.
Yeah, and Ian Smith, he's coming from the Pacific Northwest, working out at Gonzaga.
I think it should be.
And I think with that, I think the pick is going to be in for the Downpour. And we're going to bring up Commissioner Sam Alt here to make the pick. So here's Commissioner Alt with the pick. Coming in here briefly, I see the Mundy brothers getting some shots up here. I don't think anyone was expecting the draft to go like this. Me more than anybody. So let's see what we cooked up here.
With the 10th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, Will Wyman and the Downpour select Charlie Karagosian.
I feel free to interview myself here. You saw me and Kieran hash it out live here. He's a phenomenal rebounder. He is extremely strong, extremely tenacious. He brings the heart, the hustle. He's willing to bleed on this court. And I think that's what we needed. We got our score in Mikey, and Charlie K is really going to be the bruiser. That's going to be the enforcer. I think he will be critical against a team like the Sharks, who bring a lot of physicality. I don't know. What do you think about this pick?
After a lot of deliberation, I do indeed think it's the right pick. The Classic, small court, size really means a lot. And getting those second chances, getting those rebounds, especially when you have a player like Mikey who's going to be putting up shots. If you can get those second chance points out of a guy like Charlie, get somebody going to the free throw line, that's really going to bring a lot to your team. So I think it's a good pick.
Absolutely, I agree. And now coming up next, we've got the light show on the clock here with Captain Sam, also the commissioner. What's he cooking up back there? I have an inkling. He's got a brother in this draft as well. There's a lot of brothers in this Classic. And Spencer Alt on the board here. He had a great time in the offseason playing for the Columbia Law Squad in what I would call the Classics version of the Drew League. I think he did really well out there. He's a sharpshooter. Can do a lot of stuff well, but there's also guys like Ian Smith still available. There's guys like Giacomo Sorrentino still available, Gabe Franco, the rookie. So really can't go wrong here. Like I said before, you really can't go wrong at any juncture in this draft.
Yeah, you can.
You think so?
I think you can definitely go wrong.
Walk me through it.
There's lots of ways to go wrong in the Classic Draft. This is where your season is you make or break it. So
true.
I guess I just disagree with the fundamental idea that you can't go wrong in the Classic Draft. But
I can see where you're coming from. But there's a lot of talent. And I believe that we are good to go. The pick is in here for the light show.
With the 11th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Light Show select Spencer Alt from UC Santa Barbara.
I am shocked and appalled. I never thought it would go this way. Sam, of course, drafting his brother. I mean, that was clear cut, clear as day. It's a great pick. Spencer Alt played basketball at Davis High. He's a great stretch shooter. He's joining a roster with great defense in Tyler Mundy and Sam Alt. And then Sam, of course, is a great shooter, a great scorer, can really do it all. These two brothers coming together, I think it's going to be a dangerous squad come August.
yeah. I don't know a lot about Spencer All. I've never seen him play, so I don't have much to add.
There you go.
But they already have a great foundation in Sam and Tyler, two guys who can score, ball handle, and play defense. So if Spencer can add anything to that, I think they're going to be a dangerous team.
Absolutely. And now we have the slashers on the clock here, Charlie Easton. Billy, I think, is going to be calling the pick for him, his lieutenant for this classic. He's been second in command so far, drafting himself. That was a bold move, and I can respect it. I would have done the same in his shoes. But we still have a lot of good options available. And it looks like the pick is in here, so let's see what Charlie cooked up. 12.
With the 12th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Slashers select Gabe Franco. Break it down.
Gabe Franco is another really talented rookie. He's been out to a few runs. He's got great size, great length. He's got a phenomenal handle as well. If you can key in that jumper, he's great off the bounce, can get downhill, finish with either hand. He's got the length to bother players on defense. I think it's a really strong pick, and that is a very, very tall team with the Slashers roster. So we've got, our tall team in the Slashers. We've got our strong team in the Sharks. There's so many different ways this classic could go. I think physicality is becoming more of a theme here.
Yeah, physicality's always at a premium on this Taylor outdoor court. So I think having those three big players sets them up really well for success. I will say there's a lot of similarities between the play styles there. You got three players who play very similar, really strong games. So if they can find a way to mesh all three of their games together, I think they got a really strong roster.
I'm a big fan of that pick. I think those guys have got chemistry too coming up together, coming out of Holmes Junior High School. So I think that's a really good call. And now we've got the foul coming up. Bridger Costello, what is he thinking about? I'm sure he's absolutely panicking. But he's ready. So he's bringing it to the table. This has been a crazy draft so far, and I know that Bridger's going to add another layer of excitement to it. And it looks like the pick is in.
With the 13th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the foul select Ian Smith from Gonzaga. Totally blanked on that.
That is a great pick. Come on in, man.
Quick,
Ian Smith, he's a great player. What was going through your head here? What were you looking for out of this pick?
Yeah, Ian Smith, former Backyard Classic teammate of mine. First Summer Classic, he was my teammate on the Three-Headed Snakes, actually. I just think he's got the whole package, to be honest. Great defender, really, really good rebounder, especially in the latest Winter Classic. I thought he was the most improved. I believe he won the most improved player, if I'm not mistaken. And he was just dominant in that Classic. Really good on defense. He was locked in the whole time, really good motor. And I think he's exactly the player we needed to complement me and Gabe. And I think we got a really good shot at this thing with Ian on our squad. I'm really glad he's on our team and ready to rock with Big Smith on our squad. So let's get it done.
Well, best of luck to you. That was a really sharp pick.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
I know Ryan Tilmatine is going to be seething after that one. That's his boy. That's someone he loves to pick, loves to go after him in the draft, and I'm not sure what he's really going to be thinking about here going into this next pick.
Yeah, I think that was an important pick for them. I think either Giacomo or Ian would have been a great pick at that juncture to give you a really strong wing defender, someone who's tenacious, someone who can cut off the ball, especially to complement those two heliocentric scorers in Gabe and Bridger. So I think someone who brings that defense, that grit, that rebounding, great option. I think Ian will do all of those.
Absolutely. Coming from the comments section, Jack wrote, "I feel disrespected. Will definitely remember being drafted after Ian." And coming in from the captain himself, Ryan Tilmatine, "I'm sad, but I'm excited." So, you know, he's got a great attitude. Let's see what he cooked up in that little break while he was commenting on the stream.
With the 14th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Rooks select Giacomo Sorrentino. He left.
Giacomo's left the green room, but it's a great pick. I think Ryan, he's kind of like Ian Smith in many ways, a similar type player. He has got the heart of a lion. That's been mentioned before by Bridger. He said Gabe had the heart of a lion, but you know Giacomo really does have that heart of a lion. Similar vein as Charlie KARAGOSIan, willing to die on this court, willing to put his body, heart, and soul on the line to get the dub. And that is a really sharp pick, and I'm happy for him. And now going into these final two of the round, I think we're going to see some big selections.
Yeah. You know, Giacomo's a player who, coming into the Classic, he's kind of been all over these draft boards. You know, I think he was certainly undervalued coming into that first Winter Classic, and he showed it by carrying his team to the championship. I think he shot up some draft boards, maybe went a little too early in the past. But I think this is a really great spot for him to fall to a really great captain. Clearly they did it in this Winter Classic, so I think they can definitely carry a lot of that momentum into the Summer Classic, hopefully.
Absolutely, and now we have Cody Taylor coming up, and that is this is a very important pick for the fresh rookie captain taking over. Obviously, Mr. Classic, Kai Taylor, taking over his roster, a very storied franchise, the only franchise with two Summer Classic rings.
Yeah.
And made an appearance in almost every championship game. So
yeah, and you know he's coming into this draft a little bit blind. Maybe he hasn't seen all these players play as much of some of us players who've been in the Classic for longer. So let's see what he cooks up.
And the pick is in. Let's hear what Cody had to say.
With the 15th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, Cody Taylor and the Classics select Dylan Starsnick from UC Santa Cruz.
That is crooked. That is just brutal that Dylan has fallen that far. I said that to Kieran in our pregame before we were on live. I said if Dylan falls to the Classics, it will be an absolute calamity.
Yeah.
And that has now constructed a absolutely terrifying roster. Cody Taylor, ERICK, LENGTAT, and Dylan Starsnick, any of those guys can hurt you and hurt you bad. Very good on the offensive end.
Yeah, and I mean Dylan's a tenacious defender too. We can't underrate him on that side. He's also a good ball handler. That gives him three players who can shoot, handle the ball. Just makes it really hard for you to defend. So, especially with a player like Cody who can distribute that well, having an option like Dylan at your third pick who can make tough finishes with either hand, really dangerous team. So I'm excited to see what they can do.
Yeah, that is absolutely a stellar squad. And now coming up, we have the Sharks on the clock. Aiden Doms, what is he thinking about here? You know, a lot of talented players have flown off the board here.
Yeah.
He's having the conversation with Commissioner Alt, and it looks like he's ready to rumble. So to complete the second round here, what is Aiden Doms thought up?
With the 16th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Sharks select Mr. Toronto, JALEN ROSARIO.
That is a great pick. Wow, I was wondering where JALEN was going to go. I was even hoping that he would fall to me in the third round. JALEN is a very talented player, overlooked for reasons I'm not quite sure why. He really does a lot well. He can handle the ball. He can knock down shots in the mid-range and from three. He's a good finisher. He's a plus defender for sure. Can rebound well for his size. I think it's a really, really good pick. And Aiden and Joe now joined by JALEN, who can really be their ball handler if they want to take a little break. I mean, Aiden Doms obviously should have the ball in his hands at mostly all times here, but you know, if he wants to take a little breather, JALEN is perfectly capable of leading an offensive unit, and he's going to be a great defender to add to this roster. JALEN ROSARIO says expletive finally. He still has the He's a moderator in our chat right now. He's tired, but he stayed up late. He's on East Coast time. He's out there in Toronto, but that is absolutely stellar. It's not.
What? It just isn't.
I got a heckle from Joe that told me that Toronto is on the West Coast. It simply isn't. Joe Morrison just walked in the building. I'd love to get him in here for a quick interview if he's willing. Joe Morrison was selected by this Shark squad early on here. Take a little seat here, Mr. Joe. Long time no see.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Great.
Thanks for coming out here.
Glad to be here.
So you're joining Aiden Doms as your captain. He's a rookie, but you know he's arguably the most talented player out here, easily the most athletic player out here. How do you feel about that?
You know, I've never seen Aiden turn down a layup. We got strength, but on top of that, we got grit. You know, like if there's a ball off the board, if there's a ball on the ground, Sharks are gonna get it every time, no doubt.
I love to hear that. And have you seen a lot of Jalen Rosario?
I have, and you know, it's good to make a diverse team. We got the size, now we got some shooting ability on top of that. People might beat us at their game, but they're never going to beat us at our game.
Wow, that is well said. All right, well, that's an absolute pleasure, Joe, and that's going to conclude this second round. We're going to take a quick breather once more, and then we'll be right back for the third and final round of this Summer Classic Draft. We'll be right back. We are back here, ladies and gentlemen, taking a look at these rosters. These are just some ridiculously stacked teams. Bradley, Jake, Max, Will, Mikey, Charlie, Sam, Tyler, Spencer, Charlie, Billy, Gabe, Bridger, Gabe, Ian, Ryan, Derek, Giacomo, Cody, Eric, Dylan, and Aiden, Joe, and Jalen. These are some obscene squads here, and now we're going to go into this third and final round with Bradley Kishaba drafting for the Mercenaries. Who is he going to take here? The pick is in with Sam Alt, and we'll see who Bradley decided to take.
With the 17th and first pick in the third round, the Mercenaries select CADEN NEEL.
Oh, baby. Caden, flying off the board here first in this third round. How are you feeling about joining this mercenary squad?
I don't think I've ever played with Bradley before, but it's going to be super interesting. Going to have to get some work in with him, but I'm super excited to get taken early third round above Hank especially.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I'm excited to play. Let's do it.
What are you hoping to bring to the roster?
I'm going to be an absolute menace on the boards, and I've actually added a few new post moves to the bag that the Classic's going to be absolutely devastated to see.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Well, happy to hear that. Absolute pleasure, and good luck in this Classic. Now the Downpour are coming up with the next pick here. I am surely thinking about that one.
Absolutely.
What do you think about that Caden Neal selection?
I think it's a good pick. I think Caden brings a lot of the things you want in that first player off the bench. He brings some size, he brings some rebounding, some elite athleticism, but let's get it back.
And we're going to the pick is in now for the Downpour. Yeah, pick is in for the Downpour. Here's Sam Alt with it. Yeah, let's see what the Downpour, who they're going to go for here.
With the 18th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Downpour select Jack Grote.
Yeah, I think that's a really good pick. I think he's a very talented player. He's definitely a good athlete. He was mired by an ankle injury last Classic, really wasn't able to perform at the level that I know he's capable of, but he's very capable on both ends of the ball. He's a good defender. He's a good scorer. He can knock down some shots, and I think he's going to be a great energy guy for this Downpour squad.
Yeah, absolutely. I think you said it about all, Cap.
There you go.
There you go.
And now we got LIGHTSHOW coming up next here with the 19th pick in the draft, third round.
Yeah, got some good options here.
I wonder who they're going to take. We got a lot of good guys left. We got guys like Ayush, guys like Liam Swenson, your brother. Miles Zabala, I think, is obviously a good option. And there's a lot of good choices here. I think Sam is going to be on the horn with one of his teammates, maybe Spencer Alt, his brother and probably draft advisor here.
Yeah.
And
I think it really, at this juncture in the draft, I think it really depends which way you want to go. You know, do you want to go for a ball handler, more of a shooter like Miles Zabala, or someone like Ayush Malik, or do you want someone a little bit bigger, like maybe Hank SCHAAF, or more of an interior player, maybe a reach on a Liam Swenson type player, a rookie we haven't seen in the Classic before. The Swenson name certainly has some big accomplishments in this Classic, so maybe you see if a little bit of that bloodline carried on. So I think it's really which way do you want to go with your fourth player? What do you want out of them? But there's also a lot of good options.
Yeah, absolutely true. And we're still having the conversation over there. We are approaching our deadline here. Mike Wyman says a little K in the chat for Liam Swenson. He's still waiting patiently in the green room, and it looks like the pick is in here. So here we have Commissioner cool with the LIGHTSHOW pick.
With the 19th pick of the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the LIGHTSHOW select Hank SCHAAF from McCuney Davis.
Wow, entered the SCHAAF zone. LIGHTSHOW taking Hank SCHAAF off the board here. The SCHAAF Zone shirt makes an appearance, Hank. I think you've made some enemies here, some doubters in the stands. What do you just say to the people that are preying on your downfall this classic?
They can all catch my wind after I secure the championship. First time LIGHTSHOW dub right here. I'm feeling it. I got a great squad. I mean, not gonna lie, I chirped some of the guys on my squad, so I got to make up for it. It's the way I'm working, you know. So it's like I got some haters on my squad. I got some haters against me. If I can lock it in for the classic, I think I'd be great.
Oh, well, good luck. Good luck this summer.
I got one thing to say. Go for it. There was 18 mistakes in front of me, just like the great Josh Rosen said. And I am here. I am ready to rumble. I've shown it in the Winter Classic. I know what I'm about. I play to my strengths. I get the offensive boards. I make the right pass. Classic ain't about scoring. People get hot. People get cold. It's about defense and rebounding. That's the best thing you can do, and that's the two things I bring to this game. And I can't believe someone didn't pick me sooner because I am here, and I'm hungry, and I'm ready. I got shooters on my squad, and that's exactly the thing we need.
All right, well, there you go. Hank SCHAAF, everyone. That is wow. That is a great pick. Now we got Slashers on the clock here coming in with the 20th pick. That was some fire. I'm fired up for Hank right now. I feel I wish I had picked him. I mean, I'd go into battle for that guy any day. And I play with him in the Winter Classic, and you know what? He honestly makes the right play most of the time. He's a fiery competitor. He is a lot of fun. And here we have Slashers on the clock here. Charlie Easton.
With the 20th pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Slashers select Ayush Malik from UC Irvine.
That is a really, really good pick. Ayush was one of the premier shooters in the last Summer Classic. He can really knock that ball down. He's also been in the gym a lot. He lifts weights. He's put on a lot of good muscle mass. He's a great leaper, too. He can be good on the glass. That's a really good pick, especially at this juncture of the draft. Getting a kind of talented player like that is going to be huge for this squad.
Yeah, I think especially for a squad that has a lot of players who like to get downhill into the lane, having someone who can space the floor, keep another body out of the lane is going to be huge for Charlie, Billy, and Gabe's team, especially given they want to get downhill and finish.
Absolutely. Now we have the foul on the clock here. I wonder who Captain Bridger Costello is thinking about. I do have he wants a second we do not have. We need to be in and out of here with some speed.
What are your thoughts on the options that he's presented?
You know, you got a guy like Miles Zabala available, a guy like Aidan Enriquez. These guys can really bring a lot of good stuff. Aidan, you know, he's been in the gym as well. He's an underrated screen setter. Also can step out and expand his range and make some jumpers. Miles Zabala, you know, he's got a great basketball mind. He grew up playing the game. Mm-hmm. He averaged a good number of points. I think he can definitely get you 12 points a game off the bench. He's a good scorer. He's got a great stroke, a nice lefty. He's a good finisher, you know. He's a great defender for his size, I think.
Absolutely. I think the question for Bridger is that a player too similar to a Gabe Murray maybe? Do you want someone coming off the bench who can replace that scoring and ball handling as Gabe Murray, or do you want someone who brings something different? And that's the question that he has to decide with this draft pick.
Absolutely. And if he does reunite that Miles Zabala and Gabe Murray, that was the starting backcourt for the freshman DHS team. So the Filipino Splash Bros, as I like to call them back in the day, that would be a very good team. That would be a very offensively geared team. But, you know, if you put up 60 points and the other team puts up 40, you've won the game.
Yep.
So
it's that simple.
I'm curious who Bridger is thinking about here. He looks very stressed out.
Yeah.
But I think the choice is clear. I don't think he can make the wrong selection. He's getting ready to read his own pick out, walking right in front of the camera. He's not within his own mind right now. And the pick is in. What number? 21?
With the 21st pick in the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the FOWL select Liam Swenson from UC Davis.
Wow.
Great pick.
Liam, my man, how you doing?
Doing great.
How do you feel about being drafted to your older brother's good friend's team, the FOWL, Bridger Costello?
I feel great. You know, I think I have a lot to offer in the Classic. Had a subbing debut last time, but I think I've improved a lot over the offseason, and I can see myself bringing a lot to the franchise.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, congratulations, and I hope to see you out here again soon.
Thank you.
Yeah, how do you feel about that, big brother?
I think that's a smart pick. I think that brings a little bit of size. You know, he's a thin one, but I think he can compete with the best of them, and he's got a great trainer in his older brother. I'm sure if he can pass on even half of what he brings on his defense side of the ball, I think he's going to be a great option for them off the bench.
There you go. Learn everything from his big brother. Now we have the Rooks on the clock.
With the 22nd pick in the Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Rooks select Miles Zabala from Wisconsin.
That is a really good pick. Frankly, I'm surprised that Miles was not selected sooner. He is a great ball player. Here we have teammate Derek Mundy come in to say some words about his teammate.
I just want to say I'm so excited about this team. We got a solid group of guys with Jock and Miles. We got solid defense, good scoring all the way around. It's going to be a fun year. I'm super excited for it.
Happy to hear that. Good luck this year.
Thank you.
Now I got the Classics coming up on the clock here. Coming in with this 23rd pick. We're one away from the last one.
With the 23rd pick of the 2023 Backyard Summer Classic Draft, the Classics select Aidan Enriquez.
And that is a phenomenal selection. Two guys in Miles. There you go.
And that means Silas Kirsch has been selected last by the Sharks with the 24th pick.
And there you go. Silas and Aidan going off the board last. Those are two really good players. I thought they would go a little bit earlier. And with that, we are going to conclude this this draft. This has been a super exciting one to see. And it has been an absolute pleasure. Thanks for tuning in. And we will get back to you soon with some more classic action. And we will see you next time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Have a good night.